Hello friends, welcome to my channel Go Digit. Today in this video, we will extend our learning with respect to the concept of code analyzers in the AI language or business center. Right, so from the past 2 weeks, we are covering the concept of AppSource, like different types of COPs like code cop, business center.linter cop, button and extension cop, and so on. And we have seen certain settings also in the settings.json file, which via enabling them, our code analyzers work perfectly, and it will help us to make our extensions more robust, and it helps us to follow all the coding guidelines of the Microsoft. Okay, so today again, we will see this new cop called AppSourcecop along with AppSourcecop.Json. So this AppSourcecop basically helps us in making our extensions compatible with the Microsoft AppSource. So if we are intended to make publish our extension to the Microsoft AppSource so that worldwide partners, customers can start using them and we can do and generate some business out of it, then we have to abide all the rules of the Microsoft AppSource because when we publish our extension there, Microsoft will run their validations, which are different than what you see in the code cop, UI cop, or button extension cop. And then your extensions might get fail there. So if you want to know all those sorts of errors and want to handle them during the development, then this app source cop is really efficient, really will be helpful. So, for example, as soon as you enable it, you will get start getting all sorts of errors which are there in your extension with respect to the app source guidelines. So, for example, the first error I'm getting is that I'm not using this mandatory suffix, prefix. I don't have the permission sets also. So we have to see all these things. So basically, first thing is this: what is this mandatory suffix and prefix, and how I can add them, and where I should add these parameters. So to cover this up, there is a file called AppSourcecop.Json. Okay, so this is the naming convention of the file which you have to use. And then because a JSON file, you have to add the curly braces. And then when you press Control Space, you will get the IntelliSense will give you all the parameters which we can add in this particular file. So the error which I'm getting at the moment is mandatory suffix, prefix, or affix. So you can see that three parameters are currently showing up for me here. One is this suffix, prefix, or affix. So all these two are already obsoleted. So we can use this mandatory affixes. So this is nothing but as you can see that affixes that must be prepended or appended to the name of all new application object extension objects and fields, right? So I can we have to register these three-letter word as I mentioned here as well, like GDD. Okay, this three-letter abbreviation you can say or word you can say is unique to your business, right? So you have to register it with the Microsoft, and then only you can start adding them up in all your XAL files. Because uh, if you don't give them, you cannot just randomly give any three-letter words, right? You have to register with them. That's the concept of this. And as I mentioned here, GDD. Now I just have to provide I can add GDD here as well, after as well. It's up to me. Okay, so because I'm using mandatory affixes, not prefix or suffixes. All right, so now I'll do one thing. I'll delete this file and based on my new file names, I'll generate the permission sets. All right, so if I compile this, you can see that I'm getting this error that my file is still not covering GDD. So I have to add this GDD in my permission set as well. Okay, now, okay, I'm getting one more error. The naming It cannot be greater than 20, so that's it. Okay, so now you can see that errors I have handled. One thing is that why errors are handled, because I have updated my app.json file as well accordingly, which you also have to, because all these parameters now, like privacy statement, EULA, help, URL, logo, runtime, context sensitive help URL, application inside connection string, all these parameters are very, very important, and you have to provide the right values here. So don't go by the values which I have added here, like google.com here and everywhere, because I just added it to give you an idea about it, that what type of values you have to provide. However, for your case, because you want to generate a real business out of your extensions, you want to publish your extensions to the app store, so you have to provide the right values. Because if you are failed to do so, when you might don't get error here, as you can see that I am not getting any error. But when you publish your extension to the Microsoft App Source, then this extension will get failed, because Microsoft will check all these links as well, that it should be working fine and they are correct by nature. So you cannot just trick Microsoft that by providing all these sorts of nonsense. And obviously, in case you manage to trick Microsoft, then also when your real customers want to use your extensions, then they will not get the right amount of support out of it. So this will be bad for it. So just understand that you have to provide the right values and fill up all these values, because if you don't, if you fail to do so, you will get the error because of AppSourcecop. Okay, so this is the use of the AppSourceCop, that it will give you certain errors which are related to the uh, publishing your extension to the app source. But because we are using this AppSourcecop.Json, so it has some more parameters as well, right? So like baseline package cache path, right? Then version as well. So if you are new to the AL development, and if you have never heard about this term called breaking change, then uh, it will be very helpful to you that you have to use these settings. But if you have heard that also, then also the breaking change concept is something that, let's say your extension is already there, you're working on the existing extension, just like in our case, the one version 1.0 version is already exist, and now I receive some more work that I have to add or extend the functionality of this app. So when you're doing so, we might have to change some code in the existing files as well sometimes. So if you are making the changes in the existing files, then it becomes very important that we have to be very much make sure that it is not a breaking change, right? Uh, because sometimes you do some changes which you will not get the error here while during the development part. But when you publish your extension to the app source, then Microsoft identify that this particular field was there in the older version, but it is not now there. So it's a breaking change, because in Business Central, we have to follow everything under the obsolete process. If you want to change something, if you want to remove something, then we have to obsolete the existing code and then only introduce the new code. So all these concepts of breaking change and things we have to understand and identify during the time of development. And that's where these properties like baseline package cache path and version comes into the picture. So for example, baseline package cache path is something that you have to provide the path where the older version .app file you have to place there. And then the new version which you are working on will be a part of your current project. And then based on this path and the file app which you place there, system will check and compare both the versions together and then give you the list of the breaking changes errors, that this was there in the older version and it is not there, so it's a breaking change. So that's why we use these properties. However, if you don't want to add this property here in the AppSourcecop.json, is perfectly fine, because in the settings.json as well, we have one setting uh, which is called al dot package cache path. right? And by default, the path is AL packages folder, as you can see here. So what this means is that if I move my version 1 file there, which I will do now. So for example, the file explorer, and I'll place this file to my folder AL packages. All right. Now, as you can see that, just a second, did I move it correctly? Okay, I think I've not deleted from here, so let me delete the same. Now you can see that my app, this version is in the AL packages folder. And now I can change the version of my current extension, which is from 1 to 2. That means now I am extending the version and introducing the new functionality to my current app. So here, when I add this setting, I had to add this parameter in the AppSourcecop.Json called version, which is the, you can say, an information passed to the compiler that this is the version, this is the older version from where, from which file you have to compare the version 2, which is mentioned in the app.json, right? So system will see that this is the current version of your current extension, and the compiler has to compare your app from the version which you have mentioned in the AppSourcecop.json. And this version file must be placed in that path which is either you have provided in the settings.json under this parameter, or if you don't want to provide the path here, then here also you can provide the path with this parameter. And then you have to create this folder AppSourceCop packages in your current extension and move this app file version 1 in this particular folder. So it's totally up to you, but you at least have to add these two parameters in your AppSourceCop.json whenever you are building your extensions to the AppSource. Now see the magic. So for example, this setting is done, this setting is done, and I have placed my older version file here also in the desired path. Now, let's say I just want to extend extend the length. I'm getting certain errors, and based on that, I have to increase the length of this particular field. Perfectly fine. Now, if I compile or build this project, you will see I am getting this error. Warning, field name has changed from text 50 to 80. Increasing the length of the field is not allowed. Not allowed. It is might break the runtime behavior of the dependent extension. So this error I am getting only because of this parameter, this setting, and this setting. Because these are the two settings which are telling the system to compare my current extension version 2 with this older version called version 1. It is comparing that in the older version the length was 50 and now the length is 80, which is wrong. Okay, so in same case, let's say if I make it 30 as well and then build, then also I'll get there. Decreasing the length is also not possible. So you cannot increase, you cannot decrease. Okay, in case I'll delete this, and if I compile, then also you can see that the field with this name and ID2 was found in the previous version but is missing in the current extension. So this is the breaking change. So you can see this, that how efficiently and how quickly I'm getting all these sorts of problems in my current extension during the development only, that I cannot do such changes because it is a breaking change, right? If I, let's say, remove these settings, then you will not get this error. And maybe during the time when you try to publish your extension to the app source, at that point of time, you will get all those sorts of error. So it is very much important that if you are building your extensions to the app source, you must enable this AppSourceCop. Along with that, you have to add this AppSourceCop.Json file, add the desired parameters there, and update the settings so that you will get all those problems during the development only, which you can solve it quickly and then publish your extension to the app source. Right? So that's the concept which I wanted to share with all of you. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.